Welcome to part 2 of the 10 red flags home buyers should be on the lookout for.
For sure, and if you missed that first episode, super quick, weird floor plan, the age of big ticket items, if a home still has an evaporative cooler, roof issues, we talked about flat roofs, and then if a home is over or underpriced. Let's jump in. Number 6 is bad photos. Basically, this is now this isn't always a red flag, but it certainly can be. It typically looks like the agent or the homeowner took the pictures themselves. Maybe the rooms are super dark, the angles are off center, not symmetrical. Basically, it's obvious that they're not professional photographs. All right, this could be problematic. It either could mean that the agent doesn't care, which kind of speaks to the homeowner's choice in hiring that agent. Maybe means the homeowner doesn't care or just didn't have time to prep things. And it could also mean that there's potentially hidden things that aren't good, especially if there's only 6 photos. That's not normal. Typically, there's going to be at least 30 to 50 photos. So if there's only a handful and they look bad, that could potentially be a red flag.
Now, number 7 is going to be super cheap flips. Now, this is a very huge flag. In my opinion, now a lot of these homes are going to be in pretty bad shape. The only thing they do is going to put new paint, new flooring, and that's about it. The roof is still old. The HVAC is still old. Typically, evaporative cooler, they never change those. And the windows are going to be older. We call this the lipstick flips, right? They just kind of put paint, put the pictures, they make the pictures nice and call it a day. They often target VA buyers. Now, why? Because they're typically not in town. Sometimes they're rushed. They have a short time of closing. So that's why it's very important that you have a real estate agent who can guide you in the right direction and make sure to look at these homes in person, because we can tell. We look at the pictures, say this home looks gorgeous on the pictures. It's affordable. We go look at it and you can tell. You have to really check for mismatch finishes, floors, sloppy paint lines. Those are very, very common. Also, outlets painted over. Those are one of the things that you see all the time. And people will be surprised how many of those houses are actually on the market.
Yeah, for sure. And well, this is a little bit different. This is whenever you see in the description where it says property or home to be sold as is. This as is isn't really the normal way that homes get purchased, because it's literally written into the contract that within the first 7 to 10 days of getting under contract on a property, you're going to do a home inspection and then you're going to submit an amendment for repairs. So this is what always typically happens, all right? Because no resale home is perfect, okay? So whenever a listing says as is, it may not be a red flag. For instance, maybe the seller is distressed and just needs to get this property off their hands, and if it's priced accordingly, well, then it could be a great deal because you could get a decent property for a good price. So if that's the case, it's cool. But sometimes it could be, there might be an issue with the foundation, or there's plumbing or electric issues. Maybe there's an unpermitted addition and the seller just doesn't want to deal with any of these issues, right? Now, this can be especially problematic if you pair that with kind of long days on the market, if you're seeing a bunch of price drops, if there's no seller's disclosure notice, if you can't get the seller's disclosure notice from your agent, that could definitely be a red flag.
Definitely. Now, talking about days on the market, another red flag, not necessarily, but it's pretty obvious. Homes that have been on the market for 100+ days. Mm-hmm. Again, not automatically a red flag, but it can be. There's many different reasons why the home has been on the market for more than 100 days. Weird neighbors, weird location, the seller refuses to do any repairs, poor marketing, structural issues, but honestly, I think the main thing is just the home is going to be overpriced. So that's why not necessarily if the home has been on the market for 100 days, there's something wrong with it necessarily, but sometimes you have to do a little bit of research to see if the home is overpriced, what's the location, because that's going to give you a good idea of, if it's even worth going and looking at the house. Yeah,
for sure. Just to tag on to that, if there's nothing wrong with the house itself, it's probably overpriced. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's basically it. If it's been on the market for over 100 days, it's probably overpriced.
Yep.
So, okay. And then the last one, now most of these have been kind of issues kind of on the home itself. This can be kind of on you as the buyer yourself, you making this mistake. And that is a location mismatch, okay? This typically happens with out-of-state buyers, relocating buyers who are coming to El Paso, and now maybe you just don't have the time to come and visit El Paso in person, right? If you get a location mismatch, it essentially means that you end up in a wrong part of town that just doesn't make sense for you. For instance, the obvious one is, military members, Army folks who are coming to Fort Bliss, they typically want to be 20 to 30 minutes from base. And so if you park yourself way over on the west side, it's going to start to be a stretch to get to base. If you end up in this newer area south of Horizon Socorro, you're going to be pushing it, especially with the traffic. So other location mismatches could be, though, maybe when you purchase and maybe you end up putting yourself in a situation where we have a couple of streets that get a ton of traffic, okay? East Lake and Horizon comes to mind. If you put yourself right on like really close proximity to a busy street and you make your commute to wherever a nightmare, that's a location mismatch. If you work in person on the west side and you put yourself over in the far east, potentially, that's a location mismatch. And so now, like I said, it's not your fault if you can't actually come to El Paso, but check out our videos. We have a whole playlist about areas of El Paso, like with a map. Reach out to us. We'll send you the map. Or, hire us as your agents so that we can make sure that we understand where are you working, what time are you going to be traveling, what kind of things do you like to do, what are your hobbies, and we can make sure that you avoid that location mismatch. So, we hope this video has been useful for you. 10 red flags to watch out for. In a nutshell, be smart, do your research, and hire great real estate agents.